up, beautiful people? I'm Erin and this is Erin on Demand, and today I'm going to share with you how to treat your YouTube channel like a business even before you start making any money from it. Now, from the time I started my YouTube channel at the end of 2018 to now, I have made over 7 figures, through YouTube AdSense, through YouTube pouring in clients into my business, through brand partnerships, and it has truly been the biggest blessing in my life. I don't even know where I would be if it weren't for YouTube and all that it has done for my business and for me. I call YouTube the heartbeat / soul of my business because it has really been the center and core of everything that I have done. It has opened up so many doors and so many streams of income. So I want to share that with you and just the steps to take to embody being someone who is already making money from YouTube so that you can make money from YouTube. So let's get into it. If you are somebody who struggles with being consistent, you have tried, you've uploaded a couple times, you really want to take it seriously, but it's just been really hard for you, or you have started and you've shown yourself a bit of consistency, but you want to take it to the next level, then this video is for you. Now, the first thing I would recommend, which I think is the most important shift that you can make, is to start your channel off acting like you're already getting paid. This is a huge shift that doesn't even take a lot of effort, but it's gonna help you with your consistency, which is one of the main things that you can do to not even just grow on YouTube, but to gain more skills on YouTube, to be better with speaking on camera, to be more confident on camera, to feel just more of a connection to your audience, to start building a community. The consistency is so helpful for so many things internally and externally when it comes to growing a YouTube channel, that it is something that cannot be skipped. There is no hack, no quick trick to help you being more confident on camera outside of practice. So when you act like you're already getting paid to show up and to create, then it helps you actually do just that. And you can honestly reward yourself in small ways. When you finish recording a video or two, go and do something that you enjoy. Associate creating content and video content with something else that's positive so that you have more wherewithal to do it, okay? The reason why so many people don't even make it to being able to monetize their YouTube channel and becoming a YouTube partner is simply because you haven't stuck to it long enough. You cannot upload 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, 50 times and expect to see results immediately. Now, if you've been doing YouTube for about a year, 6 months to a year, you've been uploading once to twice a week at least, and you're still seeing 0 results, then that's when it's time to go in and really refine and see what you're actually doing. Look at the data, go into your analytics and really try to pluck them apart and see what's actually happening, and going into each video and seeing what you're doing or maybe where you're losing people at. But biggest thing, if you can treat YouTube as if you're already getting paid and make it a top priority, then you're already a step ahead. Now, when it comes to that though, when it comes to that mindset shift, oh my God, you guys, my allergies are so bad. That's why I sound like this. Now, when it comes to that mindset shift, sometimes we do have to elevate our environment. We need to make an investment to help push us into that direction. Now, what I am not saying is that if you are somebody who is completely foreign to creating video content, what I would not recommend you do is go out and invest a whole bunch of money into all this fancy gear that you see professional YouTubers using. What I would say is get consistent with what you have, and then as you prove to yourself that you do want to do this seriously and take it seriously as a business, then I highly recommend that if you're in that space, to get new gear and invest in high quality gear. Now, what I love using is the Nikon Z30, and this portion of the video is sponsored by Nikon. Now, I'm actually shooting this video with the Nikon Z30 so you can see how amazing the quality is. And child, I've been shooting, most of my most recent videos, probably my last 5 to 10 videos have been shot with the Nikon Z30. It has become my primary camera on this channel. I love it because it's compact. It's very lightweight. It's easy to use. So if you are a beginner and you have ever tried to use a camera and you're like, oh child, this is too much, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, this camera is made for beginners, but it's also made to be able to grow into. So you can take the lens off and interchange it for a different lens for a different quality of video. So you can really grow with this camera, even though it is very beginner friendly. I also love the Z30 because it's great for photos and videos, because we all know, child, when it comes to YouTube, your thumbnails are probably the most important element to getting people to click and discover your channel. So I always say there are 3 phases of being successful on YouTube: getting people to click, getting people to watch, getting people to stay. Getting people to click is the gateway into your channel, and that is going to come with good thumbnails. Good thumbnails come with good quality images. So I really like the Nikon Z30 for snapping my thumbnails and getting those high quality images that you can use for your thumbnails for YouTube, and you can take vertical photos and videos for social content on other platforms. You can also invest in the creator kit for the Nikon Z30. It comes with a microphone and a mini tripod grip. And if you really want a one-stop shop for your gear, you can invest in Nikon's creator kit, which comes with the Nikon Z30 and this kit lens. It also comes with a Rode microphone that goes right on top of the camera, and it also comes with a tripod grip. Now that is the creator kit, and if you are somebody who's like, I don't want to search high and low for the perfect gear, I just want to buy it all together, then I highly recommend the creator kit. And lastly, the camera shoots in 4K, slow-mo, it does time lapses. So it really has great range when it comes to being such a small, compact camera. So I highly recommend checking out the Nikon Z30 if you are ready to make that next step and invest in some good camera gear. I will leave all the information for the camera below. Next thing to do when it comes to treating YouTube like a business is to have a content pipeline. Now, I have gone through several iterations of content pipelines, and over time I have found that the simpler it is, the better it is. So basically what a content pipeline is you organizing your back end and figuring out how one piece of content strings to the next thing, which strings to an offer. So find some type of task management system. I like Asana and I love Notion, and use those to help you organize your content. And it doesn't even have to be on any of those. You may need a jumbo calendar that hangs on your wall where you write each video title in for every week, and that is what you use to keep your content organized. Or you may be somebody who wants to break every video into 5 different tasks of create thumbnail, make an outline, edit. You may need to break all of that down and put that somewhere visual, or put it into a task management system like Asana or Notion. You may be somebody who collaborates with an editor, so that may even look different for you. So the key is to figure out how to best organize your content. And I do advise, looking at other people's content and kind of seeing how they do it, but make it your own at the same time. One thing that I have found works really well for me is keeping it simple. I have tried organizing my content, several iterations of content organization methods, and I have found that the simplest approach always works most consistently and best for me, because when I have to do too many things, it just makes it less appealing for me to actually keep the content organized. And I highly advise you to just really use the system that you're implementing, so that way it becomes a part of your workflow. It is challenging at first, but you have to push through that natural instinct to jot stuff down on a piece of paper, and then you lose the piece of paper, and you have to break out of doing things the way that you did it before you shifted your mindset to be one of someone who is already getting paid for content. And if you're getting paid for content, then you are going to have your content organized in the back end. Again, I am not perfect with this. This is something that we are actually in the process of refining our back end workflow now for content, because my goal is to stay 2 weeks ahead with content and not be creating pretty much right before the content needs to go live. So sometimes it gets a little rough, and there are patches of time where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what are we putting up tomorrow? What are we putting up today? Let's be real. And you know, that's okay sometimes because life gets busy. You know, sometimes things just aren't always perfectly in systems and flowing and whatever. But as much as you can, try to stay ahead of your content, ahead with your content, at least by 1 or 2 videos, whether that means 1 week or 2 weeks out for you. And it'll take the pressure off of feeling like you're rushing to create. You're creating your thumbnail on the same day, so you don't have as much time to actually put effort into it because you're just trying to rush and get the piece of content up. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience here. And I think a lot of YouTubers do experience this. But to get the best results, you want to give yourself time and take the pressure off of that last minute rush. Number 3 is to set the foundation of your core beliefs or expertise early on. So yes, I want you to experiment with your content, but at the stage where you're ready to start taking YouTube seriously and creating a business out of it, you need to have some sort of perspective. And a lot of people confuse this with niching, but your niche and your perspective don't have to be one and the same. And this is where you can really differentiate yourself as a content creator. When you can have perspective, you can bring something different to the table. Everyone might be telling these YouTube strategies, but you're gonna go against the beaten path. You're gonna share, you know, what your vantage point is based on your own experiences. You're not regurgitating everyone else's information or the way that they vlog or the way that they do things or the music that they choose. Like, you're being in your own lane and you're using your core beliefs to create the content that you're creating. So essentially, this is going to be so helpful because when you are so genuine to who you are, it helps brands, for one, want to connect with you because they're like, why wouldn't I be with this girl who is incredibly like passionate about being eco-friendly or sustainability or adding her own twist of like her experiences from her, you know, I don't know, therapy sessions, or like your mental health twist, or being a young Black entrepreneur, what that means and how that looks and your point of view in that way. You're not just sharing this generalized information or these general vlogs that have very little context or very little depth to them. So I encourage you to think about who you actually are and use that, because those things are the things that create opportunity for you and help you actually turn your channel into a business and help people in your community start to even help you see where you can monetize or help you like tell you what they need or want from you. But it all starts with you having more perspective and you having more, giving us, like being more open to sharing that with us. Last thing, it is a little bit of a juxtaposition from the last point that I made, but be slow to sell and quick to give. This is like the most important thing when it comes to YouTube and treating it like a business, that most people actually do the opposite because they want it to be their business, so they're constantly trying to sell something. What you want to do with YouTube is be so generous. You want to give so much good content. And this generosity doesn't mean that you have to be always giving information all the time. Yes, educational content is great, but that's not the only way you can show value. If you can really entertain someone, if you can really make someone smile, if you can make people feel something, that content is sticky, and it allows you, the more sticky content you keep creating, it allows you, when you do have an offer, for one, you have people waiting to buy from you. You never want to have a product or a service or an offer with no demand. So in order to generate demand, you have to keep creating sticky content that makes people want to buy something from you. And so when you're slow to sell and quick to give, that is how you build your demand. So I know when you're starting this channel, you want to start this business, you see the long-term game or you see the results, but you're not looking at it as a long-term game. You want to look at it as a long-term game and constantly be giving, so that when you do have that offer, or when you do have whatever it is that you want your audience's support from, they are ready and willing and like primed to help. So those are my main tips on how to treat YouTube like a business even before it is one. And honestly, these are great things to do even once it is your business. It's always great to keep these things top of mind. And you know, these are all things that, you know, I wanted to do this video because these are things that I'm even still working on. So I love you guys. Please share any of your tips down below if you have a business from YouTube, or if you've really been like pushing yourself to make YouTube your business. If you have anything you want to share down below, please feel free. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.